All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back again with the team to, unfortunately, finish Aliens Colonial Marines. We've been going for a while with this game, and, you know, the DLC is not that bad. It is perfectly 100% adequate. It's definitely not what it should be, but it's better than nothing, I guess. I don't know. It's quite sad what happened to Colonial Marines. Alright, so today I'm going to be joined just by, as of right now, Lucky Kennedy. Where the hell is Discord? There it is. Aha! And we are here. And we also got Darth Chihiko here today as well. And of course, it's still trying to find two other people that could be shanghaied into playing this god-awful game. Yes, and hello, Emperor Snake.
Poor person.
What game is it again?
Aliens, Colonial Marines, because we're all sadomasochistic idiots.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I don't have the DLC.
Take whatever god you may or may not believe in, you don't.
Dog.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, last week we had Comic Palooza, and it was a lot of fun. I got to go as Mandalorian. The Mandalorian costume is something I've been working on for over a year and a half. I felt a lot of validation as I was walking to get in line. It's like, oh, it's a sick Mandalorian cosplay. It's like, thank you. All that time and effort paid off. That was day one. There was a guy dressed up as a Space Marine, specifically a Primaris Marine. The guy had on stilts, so he was actually 8 feet tall. It was awesome. I got a picture of that. There's a lot of other Mandalorians there. There's a lot of Mandalorians, actually. And then day two, I went as Batman. And that was the best day of it all, because everybody knew who Batman was. I was one of 2 people dressed up as Batman. And it was a lot of fun hearing everybody say, like, it's Batman, it's Batman. It's like, it was beautiful. And, I got my picture taken with both Duke Nukem and Johnny Bravo. Like, people dressed up as both.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So, I was quite pleased at all of that. The guy dressed up as Duke Nukem actually put on the Duke voice and did a great job.
That's okay. Now that's awesome.
Shit. Think, Levy, think. These tunnels should lead.
And I went to Comic Palooza, not San Diego Comic Con. I would not want to set foot in California. So, Comic Palooza didn't really have any of that stuff. I don't really like. I go to cons just to walk around and cosplay and maybe buy a couple of swag things, you know, like artwork. Because I got me a picture of Batman and Captain America. And I also got a little custom thing made. This guy had this booth that had this green screen, and they actually printed out lenticular prints of you in your costume with a cool background. And so, the Batman costume in front of Wayne Manor was just awesome. Oh, it was so much fun.
Oh.
So, yeah, next in October, I'm actually going to be going to Big Texas Comic Con in San Antonio. I'll be going as Master Chief Day 1 and Batman Day 2. So,
Good choices, man.
yeah, I chose Mando Day 2, but it's like Batman got such a good response. It's like, why would I not go? And I'm not really a big Marvel fan, Neji, so I don't really care about the future of Marvel animation. It's just like, it's gonna get woker and woker as time goes on. I mean, they're trying to push Kamala Khan. Unless you're a real deep comic book fan, you're not gonna know who Kamala Khan is. I think that's one of the big problems for Marvel in general. They have a stable of superheroes that are memorable, but they're kind of memorable in aggregate. They got Spider-Man. Everybody knows who that is. They got, like, Thor and stuff like that, but they don't have just a hero like, say, Batman. Everybody knows who Batman is, everybody loves who Batman is, and Batman is generally, you know, considered good. There's like 1 or 2 bad Batman works, which basically was Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. I mean, some people didn't like Batfleck, but then again, Batfleck does have a lot of supporters. They feel like he's the closest thing to the comic we'd ever get. And I can see that. I just did not like Dawn of Justice, or, I haven't actually seen Justice League, but Justice League doesn't look very good.
Watch the Snyder Cut.
I've heard that is better. I just don't really like the color palette, to be honest.
Yeah, that, it always gives me a headache.
Let's see. X-Men 97. I get the feeling it is going to be god-awful. I would be very surprised if anything good comes from that. I just picture, if Jubilee's in it at all, Jubilee will be like the main person. She's going to talk about current year politics. Wolverine and Cyclops will just be like, those two idiots, and that's it, because they've got to always take down males in modern day media, which is really sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
Maybe not.
Like,
maybe it'll actually be good, but...
The thing that kind of pisses me off with the MCU these days, it's like they had the perfect opportunity. After Phase 4, they could have went into the X-Men and all the properties they reacquired. But no, they just straight up jumped the shark right to modern day Marvel. It's like they had the 70s, 80s, and 90s to adapt, and they just fucking botched it.
Yep.
They just jumped the shark.
And Thor, Blood and Thunder, it's like, yeah.
Automatically a better title than the actual movie.
Oh wait, it wasn't Blood and Thunder?
It's Love and Thunder.
Oh, Thor, Blood and Chunder, right? It's like, we're from Australia. Okay, one second, I gotta fix this so I can actually see the chat. There we go.
The fact that Taika Waititi is doing a live-action Akira now makes me scared.
No! Good God, I don't even know anything about Akira, but he can't... No, just please God, no. New Batman cartoon coming in 2023. Awesome. Jason costume with Crystal Lake. Yeah, that would be cool. There was a guy dressed up as Jason. Ezra Miller. Can't watch the Snyder Cut. Yeah, Ezra Miller is a fucking nut, but of course that's okay. Pulps, read the indies. Yeah, I actually do read independent comics a bit more. I just recently read a post-apocalyptic comic series by Wesley Snipes and Anton Fuqua, whoever the hell that is. I recognize the name, but I don't know anything he did. It was pretty well written. I mean, it had kind of a sad ending, but at least it was a bit more positive than not. Image comic characters.
Didn't fucking Wesley Snipes skip his taxes?
Yes. Well, I never said I gave them any money, Lucas Koval. I mean, I give them twice the amount of money because I worship Disney as a god. But seriously though, I don't really read too much Marvel. I've tried to read Marvel, but my biggest problem with Marvel is none of this shit really makes any sense unless you are like a hardcore Marvel fan. I read Guardians of the Galaxy 2008, and once again, unless you know every character in that, you're like, who the fuck is Moondragon? Oh, it's a demon dragon that lives in the moon. Who's that? Where did they, like, where's Star-Lord? It's like, because I know it from the movie, you know? And so, with Batman, all you gotta know is Batman. He's a guy that dresses as a bat and punches criminals in the face. That's fine. You can figure that out. Superman, you know, he's supposed to be the big good. Supposed to be. That's one of my big problems with the whole culture war, is that they had to make Superman evil. You know, I also find it kind of interesting that a lot of the antis like The Boys and stuff like that, but I don't really like the emo age of comics. I never have. I mean, when I was actually a bit emo myself, I kind of liked them, but wait, say again?
It hasn't aged well at all, to put it lightly.
Yeah, because, like, they don't like comics. That's the biggest problem. The people who wrote it did not like, you know, actual superheroes, and so, of course, they made them look as terrible as possible. I would like to see a version of the black suit Superman from Superman the Animated Series, where he wasn't evil, he just was morally ambiguous. And yeah, Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns was really good. I really enjoyed the movie too. But I read the comic. I remember, this is something just to go to show you how old I am now. At my middle school library, they had Dark Empire and Dark Knight Returns. And that's what kind of got me into comics after getting out of it for a little while.
You saved it.
But what got me into comics initially was Batman. Batman versus the Predator. I read that when I was like 5. Batman kicking the shit out of the Predator. What wouldn't you want it? Like, why wouldn't you want to see that? Although, some of the Batman versus the Predator comics are a little weird. Like, they got one where Huntress shows up, and if you don't know anything about comics, she's like, who the fuck is Huntress? Why does she have those little crossbows on her arms? You know, it's like, now thanks to Batman the Brave and the Bold, we know who she is, but, you know, like, in the 90s, unless you read the comics, like, religiously, you wouldn't have a clue. But recently I've been reading a lot of Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd needs an animated series. Like, it could do it! It'd be great! He's got so many great villains, he's got so many... He's a cool character in and of himself. Instead, we got 2 movies. It's again?
Yeah, we got 2 movies. We got the Sylvester Stallone movie and we got the Carl Urban movie. One of them's good, one of them's bad. You make up your own damn mind. I'm not gonna say it.
It's like, it would be better in animated form just because you could have a lot of the more weird stuff in there.
Definitely.
But they could never do Judge Dredd now. I mean, just think about it. You know what would happen. You know.
Yeah, we all know. It's like as predictable as... I really can't think of anything now. God damn it.
It's as predictable as the tides. Savage
Yes, like the
Dragon.
tide.
That is something that I've read a little bit of. It's not really my thing just because I'm not that big a fan of Image Comics, but it's an interesting concept of trying to make heroes more See, Marvel wants to have, like, the heroes have, like, real problems, and they get it wrong because they're a bunch of weirdos from Southern California. Whereas Savage Dragon did that better in, like, the 70s or something. I also was reading the Star-Lord comic as well, which is pretty good. If a bit strange.
Oh, the one based on George Lucas's earlier drafts?
I didn't know if George Lucas worked on that or not. I mean, it came out a little bit before Star Wars, but Star-Lord, not Star Wars.
The Star Wars, yeah, it was based on his earlier drafts.
No, I said Star-Lord. Star-Lord, it's a...
Oh, Star-Lord, oh.
Yeah.
I heard the Star Wars for some...
No, it's the Star-Lord comic that predates Guardians of the Galaxy by like 10 years, I think.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy was like early 70s, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, though.
It's
like,
definitely very different from like the
plagiarism.
modern one. Oh crap, I think we both died in like 5 seconds.
If only we could fucking see!
That would help. Oh yes. But yeah, Ezra Miller though. He kind of looked, well, like what he acts, I guess. Is in Dawn of Justice, they're like, he was like, oh, I guess I need some friends. It's like, really, Flash is supposed to be, you know, competent, not a little dweeb.
Yeah,
So-
the guy's got fucking super speed. There's no way he could be, like, he wouldn't be fucking, like, not, you know, like, competent.
Yeah. I mean, remember Justice League, the animated series, where, like, Wally West was actually respected by Batman and could do stuff that Batman couldn't do? I could not see the end-game text yet.
I think that was Barry Allen. I'm not 100% sure.
I do remember specific... God, crap. I'm so dead. I do remember that it was Wally West, because I remember when they showed their identities to each other. Guy Gardner. Oh! House of Ash. It's fun. Vampires in the world, but the Marines called Mag Clips. Yeah. Unless they're using M1 Garands. M1 Garens. I don't know what we're supposed to do or where we're supposed to go other than not die. Yep, there we go.
I have a feeling this level's gonna eat up most of the time.
Probably. But recently I've been reading a lot of Dunk and Egg, which is from the Song of Ice and Fire series by George R.R. Martin. I discovered the graphic novel really like the character of Sir Duncan the Tall, and so I just started reading all the novellas. If you don't like Song of Ice and Fire, read that, because it's not really boring, it's not really depressing, and there's a coherent plot that actually has a concrete ending, instead of just, we're gonna keep it going for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
Oh crap,
Game
yep,
of
dead
Thrones
again.
just weirds me out at times. It's like incest, the book.
That's not the weirdest part there. It's like, you know, we've got infanticide. We've got endless war. It's just such drudgery to me. And you know, it's, the universe isn't that. Okay, maybe we gotta pay attention. Find a way to the main comm array.
Wait till she's distracted, and then make a run for it. Stay out of the
Okay, let's pay attention to actually the game.
Yeah,
Oh,
instead
crap.
of, you know, just getting boomed.
Pay attention. This isn't school.
Oh, I think you're supposed to take a shelter in the, what you call it, the little enclosed areas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see. See, way to go, Fireseed. You're actually playing the game competently. Whereas I'm just... Oh crap, yep, I died
Like,
almost
you see where
immediately.
the things are drooping down? I think that's
Yeah.
where you can hide.
Yeah, and we all died.
Duck in, duck in.
See, like, with the delay, it's like, run in, I'm literally already dead.
Yeah, I know. That's...
Don't cry for me, I'm already dead.
Yeah, the graphic novel series, I fucking read, like, I got, like, the $80 2-volume set. It's the Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind set, and let me say, it's really fucking good. Like, really, like, the guy, Hayao Miyazaki, who did a lot of the Studio Ghibli movies, it's his darkest work. How the
Oh, dear.
fuck?
See, like,
See, you
I'm-
can't get in.
Okay, that's what we're supposed to do. Pay attention to game. E3 2023. I don't know, I'm not really looking forward to that many games, just because there's just not much I really want to play these days.
I think you're supposed to lob a grenade on the bitch.
Hey, she bitch. What? Bap. Oh, come on! Dark Imperium. Yeah, I did like to see Uriel Ventress, like, just spurging out over meeting Rabute. Big booty
Oh my
Rabute.
god. She just won't die.
Because that seems like something he'd do. I'm glad they didn't kill off Uriel Ventress either.
Chose the right team.
Because we've got to subvert expectations.
Run!
Yeah, we're dead again. Dead again. It's the March of the Dead Men. At least this is somewhat difficult. I mean, let's face it. Colonial Marines up to this point has been pretty boring in that it's... You barely have to try and you succeed, so... It looks like whoever did this game was trying to make something worthwhile.
Okay, Colonial Marines is shit. Let's just do slightly better and we'll be praised for it.
That's probably what they thought. Okay, here we go. Like, I'll get you. Fireseed, how could you? Oh, crap. I'm so dead. Yep, dead. Okay, let's try this again. Billionth time is the charm. No, I was able to get up slightly. I think. Aha! And I'm gonna die immediately again. I'm just gonna be get constantly stun locked. And dead. Yep. Bye bye. See, I get
Bye bye.
Okay, so we got past this the last time. And it was nowhere near this difficult.
Probably the Queen's bug to be invincible or something. We all know how fucking broken this game is.
Okay, let's run over here. I didn't even get to cover the last time. I barely even paid attention, and yet we still passed it. Hey, it's like modern school systems, right? And speaking of current events, we actually had a good guy with a gun stop a mass shooting, which is precisely why the media is trying to destroy him, because why would they not? To the point where it really makes him look pretty bad. Oh, really? Did I get taken down already? Really? Because like the mainstream media is trying to say like, well, he broke the law by having the gun, which he did not. The only thing they could do is just ask him to leave. But they complained about that, and then they all... Ah, crap, you died immediately as I went down. They complained about that, and they almost said something along the lines of like, well, it'd be better if they die. Oh, they got stopped just before they said that.
Ooh, yeah.
Because that would have made them look very, very... Or, they already looked bad to begin with, but it made them look worse.
They're already retards to begin with. They don't need any more, fucking evidence. My brain is just fucking screwed up today.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I also came across a couple other fantasy comics that were pretty good. Hawks of Outremer by Titan Comics. It's a graphic novel that adapts a couple of Robert E. Howard short stories. It's basically about a Conan-esque kind of guy who fights in the Crusades! Oh, crap! Okay, run!
Maybe you're supposed to hit her with a flamethrower.
Oh, crap. I'm trying not to get killed by regular Xenos. I'm gonna die again. Yep, because they're coming at us from behind.
Oh, I think you're supposed to follow Hicks in a sense.
Wait a minute, what am I doing? Oh, there it is. And then there was another comic I read all the way through, which was called... Okay, that does not go anywhere. Okay, crap. Hide me again. Called Valen the Outcast. It's about a king that gets cursed by a necromancer to become an undead warrior. And he has to get his soul back. It also was pretty good. It's just basic fantasy stuff, but fun.
Interesting.
I think it was also a Titan Comics release as well. Okay, where the hell is Hicks?
Probably in hell.
You mean Alien 3?
No, according to this, he escaped Alien 3.
Corex Vulcan, the cottage, and Joe. Don't pet the Mary Suicide Bomber. Wow. Hicks, there he is! Okay, over here. Follow me.
We're getting out of here.
Well, at least, Hicks, keep running forward, you idiot. Well, I'll put you in Terminator Dark Fate. Get your balls cut off. To combat the patriarchy.
Run, just run!
Okay, this is where we...
checkpoint.
This is where we were the last time, and I basically got tired and said forget it. Terminator Dark Fate. Attempt to revive the Terminator franchise. I like how we already are dying.
Yeah, I find it funny how Tim Miller attempted to revive the Terminator franchise with Dark Fate, but in actuality it took the devs behind Rambo the video game.
Which it's too hilarious.
Terminator Resistance.
John Cena's gonna be the next Terminator. Kneel to the seat. Hey, you know, I
actually don't want to think about that.
I mean, TikTok could become sapient. You never know. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I share some opinions on AI being benevolent. It's like, I don't know. I've talked to some others about that, and it sounds kind of, yeah. We'll have to see. I don't know if our technology is really advanced enough to even have true AI. So I don't know if it's going to be that big of a deal. But you don't want something that can think far faster, absorb more information than human brains, because that's just, kind of scary. And with everything...
scary.
when you consider how much stuff is cooked into the internet, Internet of Things is not a bad idea, but not necessarily a good idea either. Oh crap, yep, I'm down again.
You know, Lotz, it's your second time getting hit by that damn thing.
I know. He just has it out for me, I guess.
I'll
See,
mark that as third.
Open World Terminator, that could work. There already have been sort of open world Terminator games with those Bethesda ones, but that's an example of a game that did not age well, and I don't think anybody would really want to play that. It's one of those things that unless you are a real fan of like super old PC games that have hard to use interfaces, graphics that look worse than Wolfenstein 3D, you probably won't have as much fun with that as you might think.
Yeah.
Come on, blast him. Blast him. Wait, have any grenades? I'll use my... I'll wave my motion tracker at you. Yeah, self-driving cars! In the S&M Sterling book series, that's how Skynet started to take over the world, by trapping people in their cars and using cars to run people over. In order to keep people trapped in the cities so they could get vaped by the nukes. So basically, we're in the Terminator timeline confirmed.
So Elon Musk, the reason behind humanity got nuked away.
I don't know if it's his... Well, he did invent the car, but even he complained about AIs. Speaking of AIs, there's another book... It's not a book, it's a fanfic that I recently finished. It's a Battlestar Galactica meets Star Trek one called Going Forward, which is a sequel to Going Native, where turns out Felix Gaida was actually a Federation Starfleet officer to begin with. It was pretty good. Of course, Going Forward never got finished. It ended at like a quarter of the way in and hasn't been updated since 2013.
Oh, I fucking hate when that happens. I really fucking do.
Yep, yep. It's kind of like that Hercules comic I read not too long ago, where Hercules, it was this science fiction thing. It was kind of silly, because Hercules literally had his name written on his back. It's like, okay, why not? But it ends with him being vaporized by Zeus. The end. And it literally comes out of nowhere. He just like shows up at Mount Olympus, which is a space station, dead. Dead in one hit. It's like, oh, that's what everything was leading to, huh? It's gotta be one of the worst endings to anything I've read, but I guess he ran out of money or something. It's kind of like Star Trek, the early voyages that had Captain Pike, where literally in the comic, it's like, oh yeah, we got canceled. I guess we'll never find out what happened. It's like, fuck! Why?
Hey, caramba.
All my favorite stuff always gets canceled, or they never finish it. Or a bunch of incompetents ruin it. Survival horror in space didn't really have much of a chance to get stale just because we had Dead Space 1 and 2 and 3, and then that was pretty much it. There's a few others, but they were basically indie games like that Death Ship Aftermath, which is a VR game. I'm looking for more of it. Looking forward to that one game that's coming out in December. Whatever the fuck it's called. I can never remember. Come on, Joseph Fireseed. It's all on you. Like how you just tase the xenomorph. Don't tase me, bro. That meme is, over 10 years old. If you feel old, you're welcome. Oh, that one piece of hair, I don't like that. But, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good comics out there. Just avoid the mainstream.
10 years ago. Jesus.
Yep. Welcome to my world. 10 years ago, I was 23. Yeah, Callisto Protocol. It's always kind of funny how, like, the indie games have more advanced names than the AAA games. You got just Dead Space. Well, that's trademarked. Well, what do we just call it? Callisto Protocol. We can't call it, like, Death, Stars. Wait, no. Death Star.
Run! Run, you fool! Get to the communications tower!
So we could set up a shitty
I don't
game.
know why I did that voice.
Survival horror set in World War One. That could work, but it'd be very complicated. I mean, realistically, survival horror... World War One was survival horror, but I don't know if you could really make that into a game. Just because getting wiped out by artillery is one thing. I actually had an idea for a fanfic that I'm not going to actually write because it would take too long. Of like predators showing up in World War II and coming across concentration camps and basically just saving some of the people there. Because they wouldn't find it sporting to,
Yeah,
well...
I think even the predators would be like, okay, this is fucked up even for our standards.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to skin somebody. Oh, this thing! I remember now. Oh my god. Please, God, no. No! Why would you want to work in a lab where they could literally shoot poison gas at you? Just saying, like, you're not gonna make... Is the retirement package worth it? I'm just saying. You can't really spend your retirement package if you're dead.
Okay, head back.
The Predators was... Yeah, I would think he would. But then, of course, if I were to write that, I'd have to write something about, like, what if the Predator was fighting in, like, 1930s Ukraine? Would they try to stop the Holodomor? Something like that. I even came up with some really depressing shit, too. Where the Predator saves, like, this village of people, only for him to leave, and then they get picked up by the NKVD and all killed. I can get kind of dark. Or the UAC isn't worth... Yeah, I would not want to work for Hell. At least Hell's honest. But I could write dark stuff. I don't really like dark stuff. I like the good old-fashioned hero stuff where Batman swoops in to save the day, stuff like that. But, like, if you really think about some of this stuff, there's no way even, like, a tiny group of Predators could have stopped anything in 1930s Ukraine just because it was, well, a government. Unless the Predator literally wants to take out Stalin, which he might, but probably not. That's not exactly stealthy. So, unless he does that, even then there's no guarantee.
Armor. Oh god, yes, it's a miracle.
Great. Well, looks like the Xenos have entered the module.
Of course they did.
There. I can clear the tug.
But I generally just don't like dark stuff. That's why I'm not a big fan of Song of Ice and Fire or anything like that. I like happy endings. It's always kind of funny, though, when you read the comments on some stories. It's like, oh, it just seemed like too happy of an ending. It's like, what did you want? Everybody to die? That's kind of like passé these days, as they say. It's like, it's funny that the happy ending is now the subversive ending. Because, like, most everything has an unhappy ending. It's like, if they want to be subversive, have the boys have a legitimately happy ending. No one would see that coming. It's like where there's like a new superhero and it takes out Homelander and all the rest. Just do that. Just finish that off. And yeah, everyone is way too cynical. I mean, I can understand why people are so cynical, because the media wants people to be that way because of all the clicks. If you hear that everything's okay, you're not going to be like clicking on whatever the article is. But if you hear like 10 ways you could die in the shower, it's like, 40K doesn't always have to have a negative ending. I mean, like, look at Eisenhorn. Eisenhorn had an interesting ending in that he kind of became sort of the thing he hated, but he was still good. I will still contend that Eisenhorn is perfectly loyal to the Imperium. He just uses questionable methods. He's like on the borderline of being evil, but not really. I mean, when you consider the stuff that like regular Inquisitors get up to, he's really still a nice guy. I mean, yeah, he used his best friend as a demon host, but, you know, at least he didn't order like an exterminatus, or just random people shot for the fun of it. So that's kind of the standards we've got in 40K. Most of the time. I'm not really sure what made everyone get so cynical. I mean, in the late 90s, you could already see some cynicism working its way into the culture, and then 9/11 really kicked that off with the 24-hour news cycle being really popularized. A Stalker fanfic. Yeah, I never really... Stalker's one of those things that I would never really want to play the game again, just because you don't really get a happy ending, and I'm not going to play a game for those many hours just to die at the end. It's like, what's the point of that? But that's just my opinion on that. Recently, speaking of cynical shows, I started watching South Park a little bit, like just clip compilations on YouTube. That show is actually a bit funnier than I remember, but it's still pretty unpleasant, though. They really go for the unpleasant humor in that.
This lab is on the outside wall, so I should have external venting. I should be able to vent the gas and...
They really love the unpleasantry.
Yeah, I mean... But there's still a little bit of... There's still a decent amount of comedy in that. It's kind of ironic to just look at that again. I think I mentioned this in the last stream, but I don't remember. I need sleep. It's just kind of ironic that that was considered so... risque back then. When today it's just so... It's much more pleasant to watch that than a Rick and Morty or something like that. I will say this, though. The ending of the COVID duology... I'm going to go ahead and spoil that. Basically, the COVID duology is 2 different specials on Paramount Plus. Now, I haven't actually watched them. I've just read about them, so I know what happens. So I want to discuss the endings of those. So if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, blah, blah, blah. The Good Times with Weapons. Yeah, I like that episode too, but then that got really unpleasant, as most of those do. But the COVID duology basically has the character of Cartman, who's considered like the evil one of the group, and he is. In the first one, he grows up and becomes a rabbi, and then there's like some time travel stuff, and then basically... Actually, no, I gotta take a step back. Okay, so the COVID duology basically has... It's set 40 years after the events of the show, which is like 2019, because it's a floating timeline. And so evidently in that show's future, all the various lockdowns and things don't end, which I'm not sure that would ever happen, even in Canada. And so, in the future, all the characters get back together, and turns out the Cartman character became a rabbi, got married, and had kids. And so the Kenny character, the one in the parka, creates this time machine to try and stop COVID from ever happening. And in the events of the second film, the Cartman character loses his family, but nobody else has, but COVID is stopped. And so many people hate that ending because it kind of retcons Cartman's happy ending into a bad one. But when you consider the Cartman character is pretty evil, I mean, all throughout the show. But when you consider that he had to sacrifice his life to save the entire world, that's still a pretty noble ending. Just saying.
Yeah.
And yes, Predators 2010 is very much an underrated film. I saw it the opening night. I absolutely adore that film. It is my second favorite Predator film. I especially like the samurai sword fight towards the end of the film. And the...
It's an interesting film. Well, why am I going Scottish?
I don't know, because, like, you've got Scots-Irish ancestry?
To put it bluntly, ancestors in my family were the equivalent of, James Tiberius Kirk. They fucked anything that moved.
Although technically, Kirk didn't actually do that. That is only the modern media perception of the character. In the original TOS, he fell in love with, like, a character and would act flirtatiously now and again, but he did not actually engage in sexual activity all that much. So, yeah. And yeah, The Predator was pretty bad.
Bix, I got it.
Dog feels like it was written by a 12-year-old.
Yeah, it was written by Shane Black. What do you expect?
Yes, they definitely like to use the word fuck quite a bit. Yeah, The Predator really had pretty bad dialogue. A lot of shows are starting to have that, where the dialogue does sound like a 12-year-old.
Basically Marvel movies.
Oh, Taika, how could you? How could you?
It doesn't help that his name sounds like titty.
Well, it's pronounced differently in the native tongue. I know that because I actually am friends with somebody who's one of his innumerable cousins. Said person did apologize for Thor: Blood and Thunder, Love and Thunder. Ugh.
I don't know what my cousin was thinking. He's a bit eccentric, you know, and also an idiot.
Pretty much. Yeah, Kirk actually did get kind of a happy ending, although I don't like the fact that he turned his back on Starfleet. Because, like, Kirk has always been, you know, a loyal son of the Federation. I think, actually,
honestly, the Undiscovered Country was a better ending for Kirk than the original series crew.
Yeah. But then, of course, they had to bring him into the future. Looked like he teleported in. Like, Hicks, do you have a personal teleporter?
Set up those turrets.
Jesus, he just came out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah. Weird. Here's hoping that's the right place. Okay, good. He can actually do that. Don't shoot through the window! And yeah, Kirk is a pretty badass character, which is precisely why they turned him into a soy boy in Strange New Worlds. Because why wouldn't they do that?
Christ almighty, help me.
Yeah, Strange New Worlds, I know I've talked it up pretty big the last couple months, but man, did it get bad in the last few episodes. And that last episode was I knew they were gonna do it, and they did it.
And over this, it's the same every time. It's like the Who song, "We won't be fooled again," but you were fooled.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's why I didn't pay. I mean, I paid 3 times the price for it. Paid $1,000 an episode. If you believe that, I've got a bridge I can sell you. And yes, thank you so much, Randy Pitchford. Hallowed be thy name. Honestly, this DLC is still better than the base game, so I'm not going to complain that much.
So hard to kill.
Marvel making the Thunderbolts movie and Suicide. You know, anti-heroes I just don't like. I just don't like anti-heroes. Because it's such a cheap... Well, actually, the anti-heroes aren't even that anti-heroic. I mean, remember, Riddick was supposed to be an anti-hero. But he was nothing but a straight hero classic. The idea of the anti-hero is he'll kill both innocent and villain alike. So, like, Riddick, if he was a true anti-hero, he would have cut somebody's throat just for the fun of it. Or, like, you know, you have, like, a civilian mouthing off to him and he just kills them. He never does that. A regular hero...
Or he just punches them out.
So it's like... Why do people... Anti-hero is just a way of saying, like, a hero that's kind of a dick, when in reality an anti-hero should be somebody who, is legitimately bad to begin with. Or is heroic for the bad guy side, you know? Like a Sith Lord. Oh crap, I'm so dead. No, I'm not. Head to the main control room and send the message. Should we do that? Because if we don't do it, we won't have to play Colonial Marines. You've created a time paradox. Big.
Sorry, Hicks. Bang, bang. Okay, all you need to do is just FedEx his body to Fury 161. Should get there before Ripley.
There you go. Really named James Kirk, but decided to add Thomas. Oh crap. I'm down, save me. Don't die, no! She won't let you leave. Well, see, like, the Predator. Like, the Predator could be considered an anti-hero to a certain extent. You know, he does attack, you know, gang members and stuff like that, so that's somewhat heroic, but he also fights virtuous characters as well. So, I gotta tell you though, I did not really enjoy the Peacemaker series that much. I watched it because I had nothing else better to do, and it was... They like to say the word fuck a lot, so they sound like, well, children. And ultimately they ended up being fairly heroic, so they didn't really subvert anything. Oh yeah, I also read the current Alien comic. It wasn't bad, but it was fucking generic. Yep, we died again. Planned to betray the Federation if they didn't help him. I'm not surprised. Maybe he's getting senile in his old age. Although, really, Kirk's not that old in Star Trek. See, like, in Star Trek Federation, he's in his 60s. Which isn't old now. Much less in the 23rd century. That's one of the things I'm going to do in my sci-fi book when I finally get a chance to write it. And what I'm going to say... Basically, what my characters are going to be is they're all going to be what would be considered old to us, but is young to them. Because I've created a Captain Kirk-esque character, and he's going to be 80, but that's basically going to be late 20s for them. Because with proper technology, all these characters are going to be quasi-immortal. I mean, I get that they can't, like, have characters look too young. Can't look too young. Well, no, can't look too old. Because they have to age and everything in the TV show, but, like, in a book... the main character's gonna be in his 80s. I actually had an idea for, like, if you suffered some sort of trauma, you could, like, go into, like, this virtual world. And I'm gonna comment on, like, if you can hide away from the world, how would that affect society? Well, how would it affect parts of future society and stuff like that? So my Captain Kirk equivalent character will basically have gone through some sort of trauma and went into his own virtual world for, like, 50 years, comes out of it and joins Starfleet because he wants to kind of like give back to society. So it's a tragic backstory to a certain extent, but it'll also illustrate that they work on a completely different time scale than what we do. Decided to help his marriage counterpart. I'll have to see that. Everybody's talking about Prey movie. That's a little bit. Old Man's War had the issue of the old people weren't old enough, because, like, the main character in that, like, he's 70 and complaining about being so old when 70 really isn't that old anymore. Really, since that's supposed to be the future, maybe if he was 170, that'd make more sense. But Old Man's War is pretty good.
Enter the encoded message while I align the array.
Align the main array. It's like... Wait, why are we wasting our time doing this? I think we get captured after this or something.
Yes.
I guess. Give me armor, please. And... Prey movie. Yeah, it's the one where it's the 90-pound woman that's gonna fight the 300-pound predator that can beat Arnold Schwarzenegger up. And so do I. So do I.
I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
It's like, there are some females that might be able to go toe-to-toe with a predator, but they'd have to be really well-trained and with modern-day technology. I mean, Machiko Noguchi could do it, but she's also a comic book character and was competent. And even then, she got her ass kicked a lot by, like, the Shorty character. And you know that the 90-pound Native American woman is going to go up against, like, this 10-foot-tall bastard and still somehow win. TOS
Yeah, modern Hollywood. Consistency and logic be damned.
New Planet of the Apes movie. I never really liked Planet of the Apes, just because... they kind of had to have a cop-out where all of humanity somehow died of a disease somehow. And then Imizdi, or how the fuck you pronounce that. I remember reading it about... how did you get all the way over there, Fireseed? I don't even know how to get over there to save you. Why Outbreak? Never heard of it.
You're supposed to go up the circular thingy.
Oh,
I think.
Oops. I thought it was level architecture. I blame being tired.
Align the array.
$5, not bad. Planet of the Apes 1 is pretty good, but all the rest are just depressing, and I will admit, back in my emo phase, I did really quite like Planet of the Apes 3, where like the main character wipes out all of humanity. It's like, well, you know what? If we can't have the Earth, no one will. Blow them all up. But since I'm not emo, it's just like, wow, everybody just dies in the end. And my thing is this. Okay, if you have apes coming from the future, shouldn't you do everything in your power to make sure that doesn't happen? I'm just saying. It's like, everybody acted so stupid in those movies. Oh crap. How did you get over there again, Turok? Oh crap, yep. Dead again. Die again.
Scary stare.
And that's when the dead men are marching again. Ugh. Alright, let's see. Yeah, the game's already almost over. Actually, hold on, I minimized that. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, we've only been streaming for 50 minutes.
Okay. This game may not be... Oh, that's what you're standing on. Okay. I thought that was just level architecture. Die, foul beast! I hate to admit it, but I recently watched another film that I never thought I'd watch. Hotel...
Which one?
Hotel Transylvania. I only watched it for one reason. Mel Brooks is like the old vampire in Hotel Transylvania 2. First movie, not so bad. Second movie, perfectly adequate. I've not seen the third or fourth. I normally dislike modern day animated films, but they were actually pretty good, and Mel Brooks did a great job.
Yeah, I believe they're directed by the same guy who did Samurai Jack and 2003 Clone Wars, aka the Good Clone Wars show.
If that's the case, then that's really fucking awesome, because I did notice the animation was very smooth, but I also noticed that they did the same thing that so many other animated shows like to do, where they have these exaggerated movements. Which isn't bad, but wait, where did everybody go? Hicks, where did you go? Hicks? Oh, he must be up there, I guess. Let's climb the weird stair thing. Thank you, Izmir Hicks. I don't know how much more of this game I can take. Where are you? Hicks? Oh, there he is. I'll use my motion tracker, which somehow will work. Okay, Hicks is immortal. He has inside of him blood of kings.
The blood of Giga Chads.
So yeah, once the array's in a position, we're good.
Watching DTFO gameplay. I've heard of that, but I've not actually...
Listen to me, please. Think of all we can learn. The strides we will make together.
You know, Wayland just does not really have much of a, you know, for a CEO, he should have a little... Should be able to...
There's persuasion.
Yeah, because, seriously...
Don't listen to him.
Doing this won't change the past.
Wait, where do I send the message at? You'd think it'd be right here, but it's not. I'm guessing it's over here? Actually, hold on, let me get out the little... I do not apparently... Oh, crap. Well, thank you, Turok Fireseed, because I wasn't able to find it.
We lose any hope of retaining control.
That's just it, though. This isn't something anyone can ever hope to control.
Which is kind of funny, but still, eh.
I can't let you do this.
Why did you do that?
Was the message sent?
No.
Some of it.
Just enough to sound dramatic.
I hope it was enough.
Some of it was sent.
I don't think that's how those things really work, but whatever. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. You know, You would think that if you're fighting xenomorphs, you should probably have something better than a baseball cap. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
And if I saw something the size of a T-Rex that looked like that, I would not be. Also, I saw that tail clipping through that head. I seen it.
Corporal Dwayne Hicks, TQ4048215E9. Distress. My unit
It's finally over.
on LV426.
Let's see, I played for like an hour. I might jump into like a quick single-player game or something, because I'm not really in the mood to get into Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, I find it funny that he's wearing the whatchamacallit, even though that's not what it is in the whatchamacallit.
You're right, he does have that bandage on his face, even though he probably shouldn't.
I know, it's like, oh, that's a massive error.
And it was suitably dramatic. Thank you, that will be all. Yes, it will be all. Okay, so, Colonial Marines. I can see the bones of a good game here. I think with the proper modding, you can make the xenomorphs worth fighting. I think you're not going to make the levels actually any good. I don't think you can. The story's just
Really, for the xenomorphs, all you have to do is like remove like one thing of code, like one little letter or dot.
Yeah. Really, though, what it comes down to is it just wasn't a very well-made game, and it feels cheap. I mean, that's really the biggest issue with Colonial Marines. It's just not a AAA release like it was supposed to be. And once people and word of mouth got out, there was just no way of saving the game. I will say it's not the worst game I ever played. I did complain about it a lot, but at the same time, it was fun to play co-op. I think this is a game that it does have a few redeeming elements to it. I don't absolutely hate it, but I can guarantee you that as soon as this stream is over, I am going to uninstall it and never reinstall it.
Yeah, that's the best alternative, really.
Yeah. See, if this was released on the PS2 and the line of code was there for the xenomorphs, that might have actually been a fairly good game, maybe. But yeah, this game does need to be set on another planet, because setting this on LV-426, it's going to be a cloud of vapor the size of Nebraska. By which you mean it will not damage anything. Okay.
Excuse me for a minute, just have to use the little boy's room.
Okay. Mobile infantry versus Colonial Marines. I think it'll be mobile infantry, because they got, well, nukes. Alright, so seeing as how we've gone for about an hour, I'm going to call it a day, because I am tired. But until next time, I am GeneralLotz, wishing you good. Guardians of the Galaxy, again, whatever makes you happy.